Just for that, that's all you're here for, yes. But it's under communication. Live, okay, thank you. Good evening, and welcome to the Mayor and Council meeting for April 3rd, 2023. It's a hybrid meeting. It is in the council chambers and also on Zoom. Roll call, Mayor Keith Hedrick is here, Deputy Mayor Depot, Councilor Carter, Councilor McCabe is on Zoom, Councilor Norris, Councilor Piazza, and Councilor Sheffield are here. We'll do it. Please stand and salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, that takes us to recognitions, awards, and memorials. Are there any here? I see none. I have none. The next section is receipt of citizens' petitions, comments. Receipt of citizens' petitions is a portion of the council meeting where the council welcomes comments from citizens to address the council. Please sign a sheet on the table at the front of the meeting room. When you're recognized, please approach the podium. Clearly state your name and address. Each presentation should be limited to 5 minutes or less, and citizens should, if possible, submit emailed or written comments. Presentations should be related to matters pertinent to the City of Groton. City councilors will only ask questions in order to clarify the speaker's presentation and can respond during the responses to the citizens' petition portion of the meeting. Councilor Carter, could you check that list and just hand that to me? You can read it. Okay.
First time ever.
All right, who is it?
Ian Thomas.
Okay. Mr. Thomas.
Thank you. Ian Thomas, 24 Jefferson Drive. I am here to speak, and well, actually to make an official request for a referral. A number of weeks back, I sent some information to both the City Council and the Town Council regarding a number of documents. Been doing some research on the Branford Manor situation, and over the past many months, we've all had conversations. You know, I've made many comments, and I've heard your comments back about wondering what could be done by the council in order to address the situation in some way that's positive and moving forward. And based on my research and conversations, you know, with various bodies around town, the municipality, the City of Groton, or any municipality can ask the Board of Directors of the Health District to revise the regulations to however they see fit within the parameters of the law. And the Health District has the right to promulgate their own regulations, so they can rewrite their own, how they conduct themselves, the guidelines that they recommend. So the package that I sent had 3 attachments. It had the Department of Health, Connecticut Department of Health guidelines for mold abatement, which was produced in 2006 and revised in 2014. And it also had New York City law, Local Law 55, that had some very thorough definitions of health hazards, including mold as an allergen, and also, you know, for infestations of pests as well. And then there's also a flow chart that the U.S. Army uses in order to investigate mold and remediate mold. So what I was recommending in my email was that, you know, the City Council could write a letter to Legislate Health District and officially request, or to legislate the Board of Directors, I mean, not the director of Legislate Health District. He works for the Board of Directors. You want to go directly to the Board of Directors and ask them to consider rewriting the regulations and provide them with those documents as general guidelines. And what I find what I think would be most useful was the Connecticut Department of Health, those guidelines for mold abatement, actually, inside that document, they talk about what they recommend contractors do in order to verify that mold has been remediated, as well as also to initially find where the mold is coming from. They encourage the use of aggressive, invasive inspection tactics such as borescopes, moisture meters. They recommend looking inside walls, inside ductwork. So a lot of the things that Ledgely Health District said that they did not have the authority to do, that was only because they did not currently have their policy written to give themselves that authority. However, the Connecticut Department of Health does recommend these things for mold abatement contractors. So I don't think it's not a far leap for the health district to adopt those guidelines and make that their own internal guidelines for finding, for inspecting, and then verifying mold remediation. So, that's basically the request. I'm hoping maybe one of the, or a couple of the councils will make a referral tonight to make it an agenda item for the city council to consider drafting a letter to the Ledgely Health District Board of Directors, asking them to revise the regulations in such a manner that it gives them more aggressive authority to find mold and remediate mold and verify the mold's been remediated. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, is there anybody else on that list? Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak under citizens petitions? Okay, hearing none, we will move on to a response to citizen petitions comments. Anything from the council, this is response only. This is not meant to get into first of all, there's no interaction between the audience and the members or between counselors because it's just a response. It's because if we go further than that, then it needs to be an agenda item so that we don't violate FOIA. So, Councilor Carter.
I just want to thank Mr. Thomas for the information, and I know this isn't the first time he's presented information, but I do think that this is the first time that I would say that it was informative, at times. In the past, it could have been accusatory, but I would say myself as a council member, I for one, I do think that we should move this forward as a referral to see what we could do with Ledgely in the mold issue. So when we get to that point for referrals, I'm gonna make a motion so we can speak about this further, see what we can do as a council.
Any other counselors? Councilor Piazza?
Thank you, Mr. Thomas, for always sending us in information. I have reached out to some people. I've also been researching on mold and how it's taken care of by law, what's required in different states, what's required in Connecticut. And I've reached out to some people, and I agree with Councilor Carter in reference to doing a referral. I think what be behind that brain activity of it would be to form a committee of some sort to actually know, so the small committee could form, understand the material that you've sent, the other things that we sent, because I know up at the state they're working on that, but it seems like a long time coming, so just immediate to write letters and so forth would be a good idea. So I think it'd be really appropriate for a referral.
Any other counselors? Okay, we'll move on to approval of minutes. I'll take a motion to approve the mayor and council minutes of March 6, 2023.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any corrections to those minutes? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, motion carries. I'll take a motion to approve the committee of the whole minutes for March 13th, 2023.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any corrections to those minutes? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. And lastly, I'll take a motion to approve the committee of the whole minutes for March 27th, 2023.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any corrections to those minutes? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. Okay, communications and reports. Counselor Norris?
The only thing I have, Your Honor, is on my weekly walk through my neighborhood, folks are asking if they could have or hear about some type of update regarding Branford Manor. There was no specific questions regarding mold or anything like that. The conversation was just, hey, what's going on at Branford Manor? So I don't know if we could put something together for the next couple of weeks where we can give folks just an update.
Counselor Sheffield?
Nothing to report.
Counselor Piazza?
Thank you, Mayor. I'd just like to piggyback off of Counselor Norris's thing. I did have some people that I work with were asking about Branford because some of them were applying, but they're concerned about applying and asking if there's other places they could actually put applications in because they're not sure if that Branford is it because they don't know what it is. And I didn't respond to it because, I mean, I just feel like it's huge and spread, so there's nothing definitive to actually say. But I did tell them, which I'm going to give them the information tomorrow, of other places I found that they actually apply to.
Well, and I do know that from my weekly meetings with Branford, or with Related rather, that they do have some space available over there, so if they want to apply, they can apply. And there's limited numbers of, if you're looking for Section 8 houses, there's limited numbers of Section 8 housing in New London County. So they can apply. Counselor Carter. Counselor McCabe.
Nothing to report.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Depot.
Just two quick things. On March 16th, I attended the Police and Community Together meeting. I just want to remind people that we're still doing those on the third Thursday of the month. So the next one will be on April 20th. And it's a good opportunity. The police chief gives a report of essentially all the activity in the police department, tickets, you know, how many people they pulled over for the month, all that. So if you're curious what's happening in the police department or you have questions for the chief, that's a good place to do it. It's just an open forum. There's usually like 10 or so people at the meeting. And I think that's the main thing of the meeting is it gives you an opportunity to interact with the police chief and get information. And I also volunteered again, as usual, at the food box distribution on the 24th. The next one is on April 28th. And again, if anyone could use food, please contact the mayor's office or myself, and we will make sure that you don't miss out or at least connect you with resources. I did have a few people reach out about the Groton Human Services Food Locker, and that is, again, always open by appointment so that people can call and they'll arrange food. And they do often have pet food because we actually had pet food at the food box distribution, and when we ran out, people were asking for it. So if you need pet food, also check out Groton Human Services because they have cat and dog food usually, and I think sometimes other animal food too. So check that out. And the last thing I wanted to say is that this might be on your list too, but the farmer's market is on a Saturday instead of a Sunday because Sunday is Easter. So the farmer's market is this Saturday along with the Easter extravaganza, the Easter egg hunt outside. So I just want to remind people it's on a Saturday instead of Sunday this month, this coming weekend. That's it.
Okay. Finance Director Uhas? Okay. So for the council, I just want to report that the 391 deposit was returned, and therefore that deal is now done. And as required by the charter, the charter says on the first Monday in April, the mayor shall provide a proposed budget to the council for its consideration. And that's what you have in front of you. Let me read my letter. It says, Mayor's Budget Message Fiscal Year 2023-2024. Dear members of the City Council, as required by Article 6, Section 2A of the Charter, I submit to you the proposed budget for fiscal year 2024, FY 2024. I'm submitting a budget that includes a decrease of $408,934 in comparison to FY 2023. The proposed budget is a continuation services budget that takes into account changes in the economic climate. This budget also follows the FY 2023 budget with funding for capital projects and continues efforts to reserve funds for future purchases of vehicles. The use of the undesignated fund balance will be $2,100,000. This would leave a healthy reserve of 24.46%, slightly less than FY 2023. The proposed budget would produce no change in the current mill rate of 3.67. The mill rate will be reviewed once we receive the 2022 grant list after the Board of Assessment and Appeals actions. The city continues to be fiscally responsible. Sincerely, Keith Edrick. I think all the council has received this budget schedule of budget presentations. So we will start next week. So Monday, April 10th at 6 o'clock, we're going to have a special committee of the whole. Monday, April 17th at 6:30, we'll have the budget public hearing. On Monday, April 17th at 7 o'clock p.m., we will have a special committee of the whole. On Monday, April 17th, we'll have mayor and council. Monday, April 24th at 6 o'clock, we'll have a committee of the whole. And then the May 15th at 7:30, mayor and council, city council must approve the budget according to charter. Monday, May 22nd, budget must be published. And Monday, June 5th at 7 p.m. is our annual budget meeting. So that concludes the information regarding the budget. Deputy Mayor Depot.
Is this budget currently available to residents right now
No, but it will be tomorrow.
on the website?
So it'll be on the website tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. That takes us to that. Committee referrals. Counselor Carter, what is your referral? And where do you want to
Yeah.
refer it?
So I would like to make a referral, and I'm not so sure, I guess you could, determine what committee it would go to, would be to the discussions of the what the council can do, what the city could do as far as reaching out to legislate, and regarding the mold issue. You know, I don't know what the best way to, what's that? You can help me out with the wording. Yeah.
No, go ahead. You have the floor.
Sorry.
You have the floor.
I want to make a referral to one of the committees. I guess it'd be economic development. I'm not so sure who it would be.
I'm not sure. I'll look it up and I'll get back in touch with the council where it goes.
Regarding what authority, if any, we have to reach out to legislate regarding the mold and their policies regarding that.
Okay,
And as far as the wording goes, I believe you know what I'm talking about.
okay. I will look on the wording on that and which
And which
committee, and I'll
okay.
get back to council
Thank you.
on that. And it'll be via email, that way it's publicly traced through FOIA. Are there any other committee referrals? Okay, hearing none. Counselor Norris? Oh, I'm sorry. So we'll go under new business. Counselor Norris?
R-23-4-25, there be resolved that the mayor and council approve the appointment of Cameron James of 124 Smith Street, Groton, Connecticut, as a regular member, Economic Development Commission, term to expire on November 30th, 2025. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. This was discussed during the committee of the whole. Is there any additional discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. Deputy Mayor Depot.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution R-23-4-26, therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council approve the appointment of Walter Wosick as the interim building and zoning official for the city of Groton, effective March 13th, 2023. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. This is discussed during the committee of the whole. Is there any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. Counselor Sheffield.
Resolution R-23-4-27, therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council accept and approve the retirement of Police Chief John E. Jenkins from the City of Groton Police Department effective July 7th, 2023. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. This was discussed during the committee of the whole. Is there any additional discussion?
No.
Well, so Chief did think I was going to talk about him at this meeting, or not talk about him, was going to have additional discussion. That is not my intent. I will bring the chief before the council, before he retires, for a presentation and additional comments from council. Are there any additional comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. Counselor Piazza.
Thank you, Mary. Resolution -23-4-28. Therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council authorize Groton Utilities Management to enter into a contract and issue a purchase order to Tucker Mechanical Incorporated, 795 Brook Street, Rocky Hill, Connecticut, the lowest total base bidder, not to exceed $3,584,584.30, including a 10% contingency, to install a new activated carbon odor control system and HVAC equipment at the wastewater treatment facility, 311 Thames Street, Groton, Connecticut, to be paid from sewer bonded capital, and that Mayor Keith Hedrick be authorized to sign the contract. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. This was discussed at the committee of the whole. Is there any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. Counselor Carter.
R-23-4-29, therefore be resolved that the mayor and council authorize Groton Utilities Management to issue a purchase order to LIG Consultants, 510 Chapman Street, Canton, Massachusetts, for the amount not to exceed $131,100 in no cents, including a 15% contingency for engineering services for the 16L-2T-2 breaker at Bunnington Substation to be paid with the 2016 electric bond fund. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. This was discussed during the committee of the whole. Is there any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. Counselor McCabe.
Resolution R-23-4-30, therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council authorize Groton Utilities Management to issue a purchase order to Cinegro Technologies Incorporated, a sole source provider, 435 Williams Court, Suite 100, Baltimore, Maryland, not to exceed $97,347.50, including a 15% contingency for the removal of 1,000 wet tons of aluminum-based drinking water residuals from Lagoon Number 3, pending approval of DEEP, to be paid from the fiscal year 2023 water operation budget fund. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. This was discussed during the committee of the whole. Is there any additional discussion? Counselor Piazza.
I just had to ask a question. I did watch the Groton City Council meeting of last week, and I just wanted, when he was discussing about this aluminum-based drinking water and the residual from it, so I know they're moving it from one area to another in Danielson. What actually do they do with this residuals?
I'm not sure what I don't know. I assume, I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't, yeah, because I was
So let me
gonna
go
ask.
with, it used to, we put it on our land, our property, but then for the same price, we can get them to actually remove it out of the watershed area. And then I don't know if they, incinerated. I don't know if they have a landfill. I'm not sure. But it is DEP authorized, and it's their license. It's not our license that they're.
Yeah, I
moving
heard
the
that. And
residuals from.
is there, who would know the answer to that? Would that be,
Well,
Would that be Ron?
I can ask to get the answer,
okay, thank you.
but I'm not gonna have it tonight. I mean, so what specifically do you wanna know?
Just what do they do with this, the residuals,
Okay,
wherever they're moved to? Thank you.
okay, not a problem. Are there any additional questions? Counselor Norris?
My question is just administrative. If you could have finance director or whoever explain, how do we verify sole source providers? As well as when we do bids, are they posted bids or bids just simply we call a few folks? Just trying to verify what the policy and procedure is for determining sole source.
I'll get the finance director to discuss that next meeting.
Thank you.
Do you have additional? Okay. Are there any other questions or comments on this motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. And Counselor Norris.
Your Honor, R-23-4-31, therefore may be resolved that the mayor and council initially approve an ordinance authorizing the mayor and council to approve increases to the retirees' pensions up to and including those who retired in 2019 as recommended by the City of Groton Retirement Board. I so move.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. This was discussed at the committee of the whole. Is there any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Excuse me, opposed, abstention, motion carries. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second?
Okay? Well, you were just a little bit late.
Probably delayed.
I
So
forgot
we
that
have
she was
a,
on.
we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you, counselors. Thank you, chief and captain, for coming out.